Hi everybody. So hang on, the angle's kind of weird on this. No. So today I'm going to be working on another illustration for the vampire novel that I am writing. I tried to approach it one way last time and I liked it, but I didn't love it. So I'll probably at some point do the same scene, I guess, but differently, but probably not on stream. But yeah, so I'm working on this one because last stream I also said that I should do some more of the more painting type style. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I also need to sorry about the dog being how she is. Sasha, no barks. Now's not the time. Now's not the time. Come here. Come here. Sorry. She likes to be noticed. Yeah. Let me... Hang on a second. I realized I didn't have my settings quite right. Sorry. Where is my colors? Alright, you know what? It's fine. We're just gonna do the colors as if I was painting this the way I usually paint stuff. So first thing is I'll tend to lower the opacity, and I'll make sure to have that as my top layer for a while. Let me find a good skin tone for her. Probably about there. One thing I do with the paintings is I pretty much, it's not quite a good tone for her. It's almost a good tone for him though, so maybe if I adjust it just slightly. Oh my gosh, my dog. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. That's pretty decent for him. Let me still try to find one for her. I'm sorry that she's so loud all the time. She is annoying like that. I'm not sure about these. This is one of the downsides of being colorblind, is in particular I find skin tones can be really hard for me to come up with. I mean, there's a few things that can be difficult for me, but Sasha, no bark. Come here. Come here. You can come be on the stream. Come here. You don't have to bark. Sasha. Hey, come here. Can you sit? She's being annoying. Sasha, can you sit? That's a very good girl, huh? Do you think that you can be good instead of being naughty? What do you think? Can you be a good girl and stop barking? You do a big head tilt? You be a good girl? Okay, we'll see if that fixes it. Probably not. She'll probably start barking in a second, because that's just who she is. It defines her personality. She's very barky. Oh, she's laying down. Amazing. It's a miracle. Okay. Anyway, my dog is obnoxious, and she likes it that way. Alright, what was I saying before she started barking? So I was talking about how some things can be more difficult for me to figure out on my own. From being colorblind, and skin tones are often one of those things, unfortunately. So that's why I really like it when I'm doing like fan art or something, and I can just like color pick skin tones. If I was smart, I would like have a reference image of someone with like the same skin tone that I'm picturing, but I have never once been smart about art in my life. Or a lot of things. But anyways, I think these are decent. We'll see how this turns out. Anyways, so basically this is how I tend to start the paintings. Is very similar to how I will start my other artwork. Is I tend to like just color things in. I don't do it as precisely as I do for like other art. And this, I'll deliberately let some of it bleed over the edge of the hair. Not all of it, but I like to have things overlap a little more when I'm painting than I do with other artwork that I do. Other artwork, I like it to be a lot sharper, whereas this helps me to do things in like a nice softer way. So yeah, that's just one of several things that I think about when I'm doing just this beginning part. I like to be a little more precise on like the edges that are like a full stop edge, so to speak. So like the clothes, I don't really want any color to bleed through. And then obviously like where her body ends is nothing, no, I can't talk, is like also where you want that to stop and stuff like that. Here we go. But I'm still not as precise, I would say, when I'm doing painting. I just think it doesn't need to be. Okay. So, grab this color again. Color that I just smudged on his face and then left there. Oh, I forgot to do her hands. Oh well. I'll get to it. And again, his hair I'll let overlap a little bit as well with that color. I do really like this sketch, so hopefully it will turn out how I am picturing it, because sometimes you just don't know. Yeah. Smaller brush for a second. So the girl in this picture is my main character, which is the same character that I drew in the first illustration that I did on stream. But I'm trying things a little differently than I did last time. So we'll see. But anyways, it's the same character, which is my main character. And last time I drew her with her brother in one of the like really early scenes of the book. And then this is more of like the love interest type character. So yeah, I don't do a lot of romance in my books, but I would say this one probably has the most of that element to it out of anything I've ever written. And literally for no particular reason, I just have characters that I like and think are good together. And my main issue with romance in a lot of books is that I think it's done stupid. I just think people make weird choices that I would never make, regardless of like if I thought I was in love with somebody. So I get frustrated with romantic plot lines in books. So I don't write them very often, but I like these two. They're good. I like it because one of the issues with a lot of books is that, like, because you want to get to the interesting stuff with the romance, like, people will have things happen, like, really fast, and I hate that unless there's, like, a good reason for it. So for these two, they're very much just, like, thrown together in a situation and end up having to rely on each other very quickly. And so while that romance doesn't start, like, right from the very beginning, it also, like, forces them to rely on each other soon enough and to really not have anybody else that they can trust, that I feel like it's okay that it's a little faster. Because, again, when there's, like, a good reason, I don't mind when it's fast. But it's usually not a good reason. The book I'm reading right now I'm enjoying overall, but it has that where I'm like, you two have not known each other that long. Why are you so into each other? And I find it so frustrating. So frustrating. But, you know, that's a me problem. I know there's a lot of people who also don't like that, and there's a lot of people who don't care. So, it's whatever. Okay. I think... Oh, his neck. Okay, hold on. Let me erase this bit. I was like, cool, skin tone done, and then there's like a whole chunk. Okay. Go back to this. And go in. I'm not completely sure how I feel about his skin tone, because while it's like the right... like, it's right in some ways and wrong in other ways, and I don't know how to explain that since it's just a character in my head, and not like a real person that I can refer to. It's like fine as a skin tone, I think. It's just not necessarily what I picture with him. I think I picture him with like a cooler tone than I have right now. So I might have to do some color adjusting, but I'm gonna go ahead and fill it in and all that, and then do the color adjusting. Okay, let me go ahead and overlap a little bit here, just a bit. My dogs are running crazy as they do. Okay. No, my dogs they're very a lot. They like to be a lot. Okay. They're very loud. So we have that. I think, oh, you know what? I was stupid because I put them on the same layer, which means that if I adjust it, it's going to adjust her skin tone too. And hers, I think, is right for what I picture for her. His is too warm. Like, hers is warm, but I want it to be warm. His, I don't want to be warm. Let me think. That is going to be difficult. See, it's like my tendency is to go towards like the warmer colors, because that's what I don't know, it's just what I tend to do. But I need to find a skin tone that isn't quite as warm as that. How does that look? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Let me do this. Let me attempt to not make it hard. It helps to have your settings correct when doing that. Okay. It got her hand. Hold on. Sometimes I make my own problems. Isn't it great? Can you? Alright, let me see. Yeah, that seems less warm. I think that's good. A lot better. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, here's what we got so far. Skin tones. And then I'm going to go ahead and start doing hair, which I like to do on a layer above. For painting, I mean, I like to do it a layer above in general, but painting especially. Okay. Gotta find the right base tone here. Feel like maybe right here is good for her. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good base, I think. So here we go. Oops. I tend to just do the same brush for almost everything. I just really like this brush for no reason. Like literally, I could not explain why I like it so much. It just has a look that I enjoy. I don't know. But basically, I'll just use this to like make the bigger shapes. Because when I start doing more detail in the hair, that is one of the few areas where I do actually switch what brush I'm using. Because there's a brush in here that I feel like looks really, really good for hair. Coloring things in when I have a tiny brush, that's dumb. Alright. But anyways, I just gotta get those shapes, you know? Let me zoom in a little too. So I guess while I am painting them, I could talk about who they are as characters. Because that's what I usually do, but I got focused. Anyways, so these two, my main girl, the whole premise of the story is it's in a world where, like vampires and other like creepy creatures, I guess, for lack of a better like sum up word, rule this world, the world of the story. And the kingdom that she is, you know, born, raised in and all that is one that is ruled specifically by vampires. And you know, there's other kingdoms that are ruled by like there's like one to the north that has to do with like different kinds of undead, and there's one, you know, you have your classic like vampire, or your classic like werewolf kingdom and stuff, but that's kind of more distant. That's more just general world stuff. The plot is that my main girl, because she's just a human, and naturally, the vampires that rule don't necessarily make things good for humans. So it's like, you know, everyone's sort of just used to this being the way that the world is and all of that, but at some point her her sister is killed by a vampire, because of course, you know, you gotta have that good traumatic backstory. And she ends up, from like the one eyewitness who saw it happen, she finds out that the vampire who killed her sister is the one that is like the ruler of their kingdom and all of that. So you have plenty of angst going on right there, which is my favorite thing, especially for a vampire story. Gotta have it full of all that good angst. But in addition to that, it's also like a competition kind of story in a sense, because part of world building stuff is that there's a contest every year in order to like sustain the vampire population, that the winner is always turned into a vampire. And so she enters it not wanting to actually win the contest, but to get close to the ruler and kill him in revenge. So it's a revenge story, it's a competition story, it's a little bit of a love story, even though that's not like my main thing. It's got a lot, I guess, is what I'm getting at. But it's a lot, but the love interest is one of the competitors, because in the beginning, like, they essentially have like this preliminary contest, that's held at the different like regional capitals, different like fiefdoms, so they're from the same area in the kingdom, and so they enter the contest in the same like preliminary group, and the contestants are all kind of put in different like they're all housed together essentially, and so she and a couple other people, including him, are all assigned to like the same room, and naturally as other people are eliminated and such, it ends up being just the two of them. And so as they end up going on from the preliminaries into like the main contest and stuff, they already kind of have this like alliance or whatever, and know that they can like rely on each other and all that, and it's a whole thing. So it's I mean, it's almost like how in like Hunger Games, how like they go in knowing they're probably gonna have to like kill each other, or hoping that somebody else will, you know, kill them, and then they're like, oh wait, we can actually work together, blah 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 blah. It's like kind of like that in the sense that like they know that at some point they like can't help each other, because then they'll be hurting their own chances in the contest. They won't have to kill each other because it's not that type of contest, but there is like a desperation to it, because both of them need to win for different reasons. So it's interesting. You have like this whole thing where they're kind of falling for each other, but they know that they're competitors and yada yada. And you know, obviously he doesn't know that she's there for a whole different reason, that she wants to win so she has the opportunity to get close to the guy and not to get turned, and it's a whole crazy thing. So that's them. They're competitors in this weird vampire competition that I have had a lot of fun writing. So yeah, I want to illustrate the book, but it depends on how well my like test illustrations go, I guess I could call these. Because the last one, I liked it, but I didn't like it enough for it to like actually be in the published version. I liked the idea of it more than the execution. So I kind of want to do the same idea, but like start it over from scratch. And I think I want to go like, because I've been sort of weighing what level of realistic I want to do. And if this one turns out how I'm imagining, then I'll probably try and stick with this level of realistic, which isn't particularly real at all. Whereas the other one, I think I was trying too hard to go towards realism, which is difficult to like sustain through lots of different drawings for me, since that isn't my usual style. So I think trying to do that as an illustrator isn't going to be very good for me. I think for other people who are very good at that style, that's fantastic, and they would just go crazy with it. But I think, like, especially since like the first one itself didn't turn out very good, it's like, I don't know, I think it's essentially just like a sign that that's not the right style for me to do the illustrations in. I still want to do it more of a painted style. I just don't want it to be a realistic painted style, is what I'm thinking right now. So, again, if this one turns out good, I'm going to stick to that. If it doesn't, then I'm going to keep playing with it. But I don't know, I'm liking it so far. I think their body proportions are a little off. But not in a way that I find unpleasant, I guess. Like, if I was trying to go full realistic and they had proportions like this, I don't think I would like it at all. But I think it looks decent. Okay. I'm spending way too much time on just coloring in hair. I can't help it. I like coloring things. Yeah. Let's see. Get around this ear. Get over here. Yeah. Okay. Getting it filled in little by little. The only problem with this brush is that it's like it doesn't have like a taper to it. So I tend to change the size a lot to make up for that. But I like the actual like texture of the brush. So I need to like go and, like mess around with settings of it or something to see if I can get the texture of it, but have like a taper sensitivity or something. It's like I like having the opacity sensitivity too. So I'm like, maybe I need one version of it that I don't mess with and one version of it that I do. Just like duplicate it. I don't know. That would be a smart thing to do, and as I've already established, I don't do smart things when it comes to art. I do the same stupid things over and over and over again. So, you know, why would I ever change that now? Okay. You know, I have a pattern, and I'm not smart enough to change that pattern. Okay. We have the beginnings of red hair. Oh, you know what also would be smart, instead of just being dumb, is to give myself a solid mid-tone background, so that I can picture like the color values and stuff better. Yeah, here, I'm just gonna do it this way. Oh yeah, see, his skin looks dumb now. Hers still looks good. Maybe I should have kept it how it was before. Yeah, no, that's not good. It looks sickly now. Where's the color that I had? Which one of these was it? Was it this one? Hold on. Oop. I think it was, but I'm not sure. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take hers, because that's a good like base to start with. Make it a smidge darker, and then bring it a little more this way. Let me see. Ah, I got her hand again. Don't do that. I still don't like that. Hold on. Go back this way. I think. Ah, it got it again. Stop getting her hand. See, that's like too pink though. Or maybe it's just not a dark enough. Let me see. This is my life now. See, no, that's too dark. It needs to be in between that. Okay. That's maybe good. Oh, apparently I had the like expand thing on. So hold on, we're gonna go back a few. Just to... Okay. Wait. I can be smarter. Look at that. I did one smart thing in my whole life. I've done one. Okay. Now. Got that fixed. I feel like there's a couple spots that kind of go over that I didn't notice before, which is exactly why going ahead and getting that mid-tone in is really good. You know? There we go. Okay, that's gonna be better, I think. Yeah. Okay, now I have to deal with his hair, which is definitely less red. Maybe a little more red. I don't know. Never assume that I know what I'm doing. Oh, like right there. Okay. Let's see. Is this what I want? Yeah. I think that's a good brown for him. I promise I know how to draw. Believe it or not. I have done at least one art before in my life. Okay. Yeah. That's brown. That's a good brown, I think. Hopefully. Definitely don't ever feel a weird looming sense of doubt about colors. That would be ridiculous. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do two different layers because I can't seem to get this in a way that I like. So, here we go. Oops. There we go. For just this bit of hair. Yeah. Here. Just gonna erase that right there. Also kind of want to smooth this out a little because doing the fill on it kind of made it a little wonky. There we go. I mean, it's going to have a bunch of different layers on top of it, but still. The fills, I think, definitely look better with the, sorry, my dog's barking again. With, like, the ink pen stuff. I think it often looks a little off with the paint, and I think it's because of, I mean, just how the paintbrushes work, you know, they're more textured and such. Okay. Also, sorry, my dog is barking again. I'm pretty sure we're getting a delivery right now. Ooh, maybe it's the book I pre-ordered. That'd be great. I doubt it though. I'm pretty sure that's not going to come until a while, which is dumb because technically it came out yesterday. And they shipped it before it comes out, which, you know, because nobody expects it to get there then. But it's like they know they have a really long shipping time, but they only ship it out like the day before the release date. And I'm like, but I want it. I want it release date time, despite the fact that I have so many other books to read, including library books that therefore have a due date. It's really sad to be me, obviously. Can't you tell? No, I ordered a heist book, so I'm very excited about that. If I remember right, it's like a vampire heist book, so that should be cool. I'm a little nervous because it's by an author whose other book I liked the idea of it, but I thought her writing was not the best. But that was also like her first or second book, I don't remember. And I'm like, well, you know, people get better at stuff, and she had such good like ideas happening in that book that maybe this one, maybe she'll have had time to get better. Because that one, if the writing had been better, I probably would have finished the series, but I didn't, so because I thought it was dumb. It had like that, there's like a trope that I really, really dislike that's mostly in YA novels, but I mean it's in a lot, where there's like a girl who, before the adventure really starts or whatever, she has like a best friend who may or may not be a love interest. I genuinely don't remember if he was in this one or not, but regardless, it's like this boy's her best friend, and he gets like killed early on in like a very stupid way, in my opinion. And instead of it like affecting her through like the rest of the novel, it's like, oh, how sad anyway. And I just hate that because like like, I don't know about you, but if my best friend was killed, I would be really upset for a really long time. You know, I wouldn't just be like 10 minutes later aligning myself with the person who killed her or who killed him because, oops, it was an accident, which this character does. They're like, oh, I didn't mean to kill your best friend. It's like, yeah, you did, because you thought he was a threat. So, like, no, you didn't know that he wasn't a threat, but you still meant to kill him. It's like, it's a whole thing. That book really drove me insane. But whatever. That's not the point of today. Today is not complain about books time. Today is illustrate book time. So I really shouldn't even be doing this in color, because that's not how books print. But like, I don't know, I think it'd be fun to have like a color version of the illustrations, so I may as well just go ahead and do go ahead and do because it'll be easier to do like to just like convert this to black and white and then see if the values are how I think they should be. And if they're not, just fix it, and then that's that. So we'll see. Because if that does work, then that's that. So okay. I think that they are looking good, color-wise at least. I doubt I'm gonna get any further than just coloring them, like base colors, sorry. Because I have the bad habit of almost never using any fills, and you know, it's not as bad of a habit with doing the painting, because like you want like the strokes and everything to show, but it's a little bit of a bad habit still, because I could at least be doing base colors faster. But no, I refuse to help myself. I am the problem. I just find it really peaceful to do coloring by hand. And so I just keep doing it. Okay, oops, wrong way. Go right here. Okay. He's getting there. Almost have entire base hair color, which will be great. And I really hope this one turns out good. If it doesn't, I'm gonna be sad, because I really like the sketch. So I mean, I guess that means if it doesn't turn out good, I can just try again, because the sketch is nice. I say that, but I don't think I would ever actually do that, because I like to move on to different things. Okay. We have brown hair complete. Sorry. I gotta like shift a lot because I I'm still dealing with the return of an old injury. And sometimes sitting like at the desk for a long time can be very irritating to me right now. So I just get to struggle. I say that like it's like terrible or whatever. It's really not bad. Well, it's not terrible. I think probably more accurate. It is kind of bad. Or it was when it was like really, really flaring up. But it has settled back down again a little bit, so it's only like medium bad. I don't know. I'm sorry again that my dog just barks so much. She gets even worse like when she hears me streaming because she like wants to know why I'm talking. She just, she doesn't get it. So she becomes obnoxious. Okay. Let me go ahead and do a good, like, about here, I think. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Get that eye going. And there we go. Yeah. Okay, colors are happening. Good. That's what we want. What time is it? Okay. I feel like I gotta check every once in a while, make sure I'm not taking longer than I thought. Okay. So what I want to do, trying to decide what color for her dress, because it could be a lot. Feel like a nice like gray blue. Yeah, that might look nice. Hold on. Let's see. Let's go like here. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. It's a nice color for her. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just scribble in the main chunks of it. My big brush that I refuse to ever swap out for something else. Here we go. Her other arm back there. Okay. Main chunks colored. I frequently am like, I could probably do things in a less chaotic way. But again, I never change. That's not true. Every once in a while, I'll try something new and it'll work. And I'm like, see, why don't I try things all the time? And then I proceed to not try something new again forever. Because I am a fool. Okay. Start getting in here. Yeah, he's pretty good. She. Drawing the wrong person. I like this blue a lot. I love a good like gray blue or a gray green. Those are nice. Okay. These little bits probably won't stay blue, but I'd rather just color the whole thing in for now. And then change it later. But yeah, this is very pretty. I do have to think of what that second color is going to be, because it's like it has to go well with her, but it also has to look nice with oh, I'm coloring in a spot that nobody can see. Hold on. There. It has to look nice with her, but it also has to look good for the whole composition and everything, color-wise and all that. So we'll see. He might just end up with like a really like pale colored shirt, I think, to help balance out the darker color of like her dress and everything, especially trying to think of it in terms of black and white, which used to be the only way I colored anything, so good for me that I have I think a good sense of like color values, or I guess it's like I have a sense of like a good balance of color values. I'm not always good at just like knowing the color values, just like looking at the colors. I think very few people are good at that. Well, I don't know about a few, but like I don't think every artist is good at that, is probably a better way to put it. But yeah. Here we go. Yeah. I do just really enjoy just coloring things. It's so peaceful. I think everybody should get to do some peaceful stuff. Here we go. Okay. It's coming along. I think that these two characters are interesting because, like, like I said, like, he's, kind of the love interest character of the story, but he's also, like, he's kind of like a secondary lead, I guess. He's got his own, like, perspective chapters and stuff. But I like it because these two, like, would never have met just, like, in an ordinary circumstance. Like, the way their backstories are, they would never have ever met each other, I feel like. And there's just no way for them to meet each other in just, like, a regular circumstance. And I like stuff like that where people fall for each other under, like, really specific circumstances, that there was no other way that they could have found each other. Oops. So yeah. Okay, let me see. Did I get everywhere? Yeah. Okay, we have blue dress. I think I want to go with, like, a warmer tone on his shirt. But what? No. First thing I try, out the window. Kind of like some of these oranges, although that one's a little much, I think. Let me see. And I was like, I'm gonna go with the lighter tone, and then proceeded to not pick a lighter tone. Let me actually try something lighter. Nah, don't like it. What about, like, a warmer purple? I don't hate that, but I'm not feeling it either. I think I was enjoying, like, these, like, more orange. I just feel like that's maybe a little too bold. It's like I don't want it to end up brown. One's also kind of on the edge for me. I need room to, like, compare my colors here. Not gonna erase all of it yet. About more orange. No, see, if I go more orange but darker, then it's definitely, like, in more of a brown territory. So, well, there's, like, kind of an autumny orange right here. How do I feel about that? It's not bad. It's still just a little too brown, though. But, like, if I go, like, over here. Why can't I find a color I like? What is this one? Hold on. That I had that I liked. Because what about just like a smidge darker? I said a smidge darker and then I went like a lot darker. Yeah, maybe I'm going for more of a red than an orange. I think this one's my favorite so far. Yeah, I'm going with this. I might change it later, but this is what it is for now. Oops. I love to not see all colors. It's so fun and easy for me. I have a friend who I ask frequently what color something is. And it was really funny because a while back, I don't even remember what I was talking about, but I like pointed at something and I was like, what is this? And she answered like blue. And I was like, no, like what is it? I can see the color. What is this object? And she's like, oh, I don't know. So that was pretty funny. I don't remember what it even was that I was looking at. Or even where we were. I wish I could remember that. Probably be a funnier story if I had details. But no, it's like I couldn't even blame her because there are so many times where I do ask her what color things are, because a lot of colors, they're just like right on this edge of what I can see and what I can't, and I'm like, I think this is this color, but I'm not sure if I'm seeing it correctly or not. So yeah. But that's part of why I'm good at drawing in black and white, is because I would only draw in black and white because I didn't have confidence to draw in color, because I couldn't see all the colors. So, you know, it's kind of hard to draw something you can't see, but I feel like there's plenty of artists that have dealt with that besides just me, so. That's why I like color picking stuff so much. It's because I'm like, yeah, okay, somebody else said these colors go together. I don't have to think about it now. Okay, we have that. I need one other base color for the little extra bits on her dress. What do I want to do for that? Maybe I just want to do blue still, but like a different blue. Like just like a paler blue. How paler though? Like just a little bit or a lot? I think I'll start with just a little bit and then see what I think of that. Like doing my like speed color here. Do I like that? Maybe. Let me do even lighter. I don't like it lighter. Additional question. Do I want it to be just a lighter blue, or do I want to scooch it over into a purple? Ooh, that's tough. I think I like both. Dang. I think I'm going to keep it with the blue. Because, one, I think I like it slightly better, but I also think that having them just be the same color, just a little lighter, I think is easier. Like, it's less distracting since that's not supposed to be a focal point. Whereas if it was, doing something a little different would probably be better. Okay. Yeah, I think this is nice. Probably gonna have to adjust things once I take the line art away, because I'm sure I'm not getting it just, just right. But it's pretty good. Okay. Get down here. I meant to turn that to eraser sooner than I did. There we go. Get that edge. I like to do like little embellishments on, I like to do embellishments in general, but like for something like this, it's like I don't want it to just be so plain that it's uninteresting, but I also don't want it to take away from like the emotionality of the scene, I don't want attention to be drawn away from the characters. So that's why I have like, these little bits that are, different than the main part of the dress, but it's still not, like I didn't want to go too crazy with anything and take attention away from their faces. There we go. Probably need to adjust that to make it have a little more like shape to it. So hang on. Have it just kind of fluff out a little. There we go. Okay. I think base colors are looking pretty good. I do want to go ahead and do some color in her earring, which should probably just be a blue. Let's go back to the nice dark blue. to finally switch brushes. Smaller even. Okay. And then, cool. I just want to get this brown, make it even darker. Okay. And then I need a layer almost at the top because I'm not ready to get rid of the liner yet, so that I can do these eyelashes. Okay. That's pretty good. And then, even though it probably isn't gonna make a difference, I still like to pick the other brown. Hang on, I need to flip it because for whatever reason, this is like a consistent thing with me, where when I'm trying to do eyelashes, oops, I can only seem to do it well in one direction. Still do not know why that is. Okay. There we go. Take a sneak peek without the lines. That's pretty good. Here's our without the lines. Here's what we got so far. So it's coming along. I feel like I'm already enjoying this one more than the last one. So that's nice. I'm going to do something unheard of for me, which is that I'm actually going to do the eyes first. Because I just want to. No other reason. Okay. Nope. And there we go. Got one eye. Go for the next one. Okay. His are brown. They're not quite this brown. Oh, I almost had it. I feel like it's that. Which is almost exactly the same. I get very, yeah. I get very, yeah. Sorry, I'm contemplating something. Okay. Yeah, I feel like hers is set a little incorrectly, but that's okay. Because I gotta do this. Scooch it just a little. Not all the way. Because I want to do this. Okay. That looks better, I think. Ta-da! Eyes. I want to peek at them without the line art. That's the wrong layer. Okay, yeah. Pretty good so far. Yeah. What do I want to do next? It's like... contemplating. Should probably start going ahead and doing their skin. But like, that's hard. Nah, it's fine. I'm gonna start with her. My problem is that I keep kind of going back and forth between whether I want to do like a realistic light, I guess, of, you know, one main source, maybe secondary source, whatever. Or if I want to do like if I want to cheat it a little so I can have light in a very particular way. But I think I can maybe do it. You know what? I'm just gonna start going and see where that gets me, which could potentially be very bad. Alright, what layer is their skin on? There it is. We'll see. Okay. Where's my favorite brush? Is there a helicopter out? We get too many helicopters around where I live. Okay. Ah! I swear, every once in a while, I just hit that on accident. Okay. Why is it a different color? Yeah, this is going okay, I think. Actually, I guess it would kind of be like that. Just a nice messy layer because it's the first shade layer. So that's just how I tend to end up with things. Oops. Okay. There we go. First shade layer. Mostly covers like almost everything, which is frequently what happens with my first shading layer. So I'm trying to get like all the different shapes of things going. And to do that, it's got to be like a few things. Why does that look weird? Hold on. Looks like I accidentally got an eraser bit there somehow. Or maybe I just didn't go over it. I don't know. Okay. Go just a smidge darker. Add another layer. Whew, sorry. I did not sleep very good, which is not a surprise for me. I am a frequent bad sleeper. Okay. This is in part why I just really like this brush so much, is it's just like, it's just soft enough for what I like, I guess. Here we go. Yeah. Make this a little smaller, because I still want to come in on the cheekbones a bit. Not a lot. I said not a lot, and then I did a lot. But I changed my mind. I'm very fickle. I'm art fickle. Okay. It's coming along. I think that's a good start. Oh, I haven't saved in forever. Why am I like this? The world may never know. Alright. I just realized I've been quiet for a while. Oops. Yeah. This is just kind of what I do, though, is do like several different layers of just making it slightly darker and slightly darker and slightly darker until I get what I am going for. I'll also end up doing sorry, I got distracted in my own stuff. I'll also end up making the brush a little smaller at some point. Just not yet. I also will end up doing some highlights, and I'll end up doing my brain just broke again. This happens a lot. highlights, and what was the other thing I was thinking? Oh, I'll also add like some like pinker bits here and there. Her skin's already pretty pink, but still. Trying to keep things nice and soft here. I think I'm close to being able to do some of the like harder colors. Yeah. That's a good like foundation for her, I think. This is where I can contrast things a lot more. And maybe not right there exactly, but do the ears. Get around like the jawline. I'm a little worried that it's a little close to her hair color. The shadow is. Interesting. Because, yeah, if I take away the line art, I bet that's gonna look weird. Yeah. That's, like, very close to her hair color. Well. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna throw it away. And then. Do I want to just make it darker? No. I'm going to go back to this and then make it a little more like away from orange. No, I don't know. Why haven't I made my life hard? Hold on. Maybe I just don't deal with the harder shadows yet. Maybe I just ignore my problems and move over to doing the softer shadows on him. Oh, I forgot about her hand. Whoops. Yeah, I should do that while I still have the colors right here. Hand. Okay. Okay. It's fine. Hands are so hard. Actually feel like this one would be relatively filled. Okay. Hands are hard because there's just like so many shadows happening. Because there's so many shapes happening. So that's fun. Okay. Oops, I have it on eraser. Did not mean to. Why do I always do this? Okay. And a little darker. Zoom in too. Why are hands difficult? I just don't feel like they need to be. And go for right here. Even darker. Okay. Hand is almost complete. For the softer shading, I should say. Because I'm going to have to really get in there with some other brushes. Okay. That is generally a hand. Maybe not the best hand, but not the worst. Kind of wanna... Okay. There we go. Now I can say again, the base colors, the base shading is done on her. Haven't touched him or anywhere else. Okay. I do think that this is going well, as much as I probably seem frustrated by random things. I think they look very nice. I feel like that's too dark to start with. It needs to be just barely darker. There we go. That's a good starting point. This is what I mean about cheating it a little, is that the light is going to be on like their faces rather than like just direct from one direction. But if I'm good enough, I can make that make sense, but I might not. We'll see. Sometimes I can be successful at these things, sometimes not so much. I tend to do, like, for this part, like I kind of mentioned, is I think about like the shapes that are made in the face, and I fill those in little by little. That's why it looks probably a little bit chaotic. But there is a method to the madness. It's just a matter of the shapes that I'm thinking of at the moment. Yeah, okay. It is nice that he does not have as much skin showing, because then I don't have to draw said skin or shade. I already drew everything. Yeah. The idea is to let there be a little bit of light coming from both sides so that it ends up looking a little more natural that both of their faces are lit. Because the implication is that there's more than one light. Oops, overlapping things that I shouldn't overlap. Okay. Yeah, that's a good start on him. Go just a smidge darker. And go again. This is like a really long process, so I worry sometimes that for stream maybe it's not as interesting, but then maybe it's more interesting, because usually I do my little simple drawings and I don't know. I think it's a good drawing so far, so maybe I'm overthinking it and other people like it too. Here we go. Oops, I have it on the eraser just to get it softer. Okay. Trying to get those shapes. There we go. I keep going over the top of this. Hold on. Stop doing that. It's bad. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't think his face is going to be as difficult for me as hers. I don't completely know why, it just doesn't feel as difficult. Okay. That's a start. Yeah. And once again, we go just a smidge darker. Save it because I haven't in a while. Trying to be smart about things instead of stupid. Because I can be both. If I can finish up the softer lighting on him, I think I will be good for today. Okay, this is not quite going the shape that I want it to. It's okay. Down a little because I want this to be angled a little differently. Okay. That's a little better, I think. Here we go. And he's almost there. Okay, I think I have the softer parts of both of them done. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty good. So I think that is going to be it for today. But yeah, I have all the soft light done. I have all the flat colors done, so that's really nice. Next time I may or may not go ahead and start doing like the rest of the shading on the skin, or I might, more likely what I'll do is I'll start doing the first bits of shading on the other parts of the drawing. Just because sometimes I like to have it where everything has something done, rather than like really hyper focusing on one area, because then I'm more likely to get in my head about weird things. But yeah, so I think that they're looking pretty good so far, and I'm excited to work on them again. I may or may not be streaming on Friday like I usually do, because I have kind of a weird schedule that day. So I'll, post about it, whatever. But we'll see. Either way, my next stream, whether it's next Friday or next Wednesday, we'll be working on them. Yeah, I'm very happy with how they're going. So I hope you're able to join for the next one, and thank you for watching.